A high-speed pursuit turned chaotic across Grant County as officers chased 31-year-old Carlos Smith following a routine traffic stop attempt near the Ico area along Grant 56. The moment officers initiated the stop, Smith accelerated aggressively, quickly pulling away. Troopers immediately gave chase, with speeds climbing past 90 miles per hour as multiple units joined in behind him. During the escape, the suspect kept his foot on the gas, maintaining high speed across multiple roadways without slowing. Units from the Grant County Sheriff's Department and Sheridan Police Department joined the pursuit, forming layered positions behind the vehicle. Officers continuously adjusted their spacing and positioning, working to contain the suspect, while gradually tightening the gap from multiple directions. As the pursuit entered Sheridan, the pressure intensified. Spike strips were deployed ahead while trailing units closed in, reducing available space yard by yard. At those speeds, the margin for error was minimal. Several patrol vehicles were damaged during the effort, with some forced offline under heavy braking and others making contact while repositioning to contain the suspect. The entire situation unfolded under extreme tension, where even a slight miscalculation could have led to a major crash. With no escape left, Smith's vehicle was ultimately disabled on Oklahoma Street. Officers quickly closed in, boxed the vehicle, and took him into custody, bringing the high-risk pursuit to an end. At least 6 law enforcement vehicles were damaged in the process, though fortunately no injuries were reported. Smith, who had outstanding warrants in multiple states, now faces additional serious charges.
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you head up this way from 173 westbound?
On August 7th, 2024, at approximately 11:43 a.m., while on patrol along Interstate 10 in Gadsden County, Florida, a gray Dodge Charger was observed traveling at 82 miles per hour in the inside lane. Upon noticing the patrol vehicle, the driver changed lanes in an apparent attempt to avoid detection. When emergency lights and sirens were activated, the driver initially slowed but suddenly accelerated and fled, initiating a high-speed pursuit.
I had heard 173 eastbound. Don't stop. Go back.
During the pursuit, the vehicle repeatedly exceeded 120 miles per hour, weaving aggressively through traffic and making several steering movements toward the patrol unit in an apparent attempt to cause a collision. Due to the suspect's reckless behavior, units maintained pressure while waiting for a safe opportunity to end the pursuit.
Westbound traffic to 1, westbound 170. You want to give us speed in traffic? Yeah, you get the 86. I'm traffic, the way it's going now. Speed 120. Light traffic.
Near mile marker 168, when traffic conditions allowed, a pit maneuver was executed. The patrol unit made precise contact with the rear quarter of the Dodge Charger, causing the rear to lose traction. The vehicle rotated sideways and slid across multiple lanes before coming to a complete stop.
Cover copy pin. Radio about 128. Hey! 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 Access over here, Tina. Cover copy pin. Radio about 128. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Immediately after stopping, the driver, identified as Steve Manuel Jr., exited the vehicle and fled on foot, while the two passengers were detained at the scene.
You don't have any idea why that guy was running?
Multiple units coordinated a search, and after more than 6 hours, Manuel was located near the Flat Creek Family Campground and RV Park and taken into custody in a dehydrated condition. A search of the vehicle revealed identification, a mobile phone, marijuana residue, and a grinder, which tested positive for THC. He was transported for medical evaluation before being booked and facing multiple serious charges.
And he said, "Why are you talking to me back? Why are you talking to me back? That's not hitting. It's not hitting me."
Rockford, Illinois, body camera footage released by the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office captures the final moments of 27-year-old Faustin Gatigo, who was fatally shot after a domestic disturbance call on Saturday afternoon. The incident began when Guedigo's wife rose into room, called police following an argument that escalated into a physical altercation.
I'm respecting
Then we will talk. Then we will talk.
You know, they
Then
talk
we
to
will
me,
talk.
you talk to me. All
Yes.
this. Yeah,
Then
I'm
we will
not
talk.
No.
Put your hands behind your back, okay?
I'm not putting my...
When deputies arrived, Guedigo resisted arrest and ran back inside the home. Two deputies entered with a key, one armed with a taser and the other with a firearm. They found Guedigo in the basement holding a metal pipe and ordered him to drop it multiple times.
Yeah, no. I need it. No.
Behind your back.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
You stand back.
No.
Let's just talk.
No, you
Let's talk.
kill me now. You kill
Let's
me
talk.
now. You kill me now.
Let's talk.
Sir, wait.
Wait, don't you
I
talk.
call you guys.
Guedigo then ran up the stairs and struck Sergeant Brulard in the head with the pipe, knocking him unconscious. Another deputy fired at Guedigo and provided emergency aid. Guedigo later died at the hospital, while Sergeant Brulard was treated and released.
Sheriff's Department. Hey, miss your hands! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Right now! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Joe, you good? Joe, you good? Someone? Joe, are you good? Somebody call now! Also now!
You got that? It's me. It's me.
Joe!
On December 8, 2022, an Ohio State trooper in Erie County stopped a Jeep Wrangler traveling over 100 miles per hour near Sandusky, along the southern shore of Lake Erie. As he approached, he smelled cannabis and suspected the New York driver was using a false identity after hearing conflicting explanations. When told to sit in the patrol car, the suspect suddenly resisted, rushed back to the Jeep, sped away, and struck the patrol vehicle as the trooper moved aside.
6 is struck 76. We're 31. Left shoulder. Hey. was a good hit on mine.
The situation quickly escalated into a tense pursuit that lasted roughly 25 minutes, with the Jeep Wrangler frequently reaching speeds of over 100 miles per hour.
76, are you able to go past and then get a couple miles and get set up for spike? Okay, I can try. Okay, 299 is going to take over radio. We're northbound at the 203.8.
As the suspect attempted to force his way through a narrow exit to break away from pursuing units, he collided with another patrol vehicle that had moved in to contain him. The impact caused the Jeep to lose control and veered toward the median, where it finally came to a stop. Realizing he could no longer continue driving, the suspect quickly jumped out of the vehicle and attempted to flee on foot.
31.
We're 31, left shoulder.
Let's take another look at the trooper's precise PIT maneuver that sent the vehicle into a spectacular, spark-flying rollover.
Left shoulder. Still on the ramp. Still on the ramp.
His escape attempt was short-lived. While running along the roadside, the suspect slipped and tumbled down a steep ditch, allowing troopers to quickly catch up and take him into custody. Following the arrest, he faced multiple serious charges, including drug possession and trafficking, identity theft, resisting arrest, and assault.
You want him in my car? I was the primary. Yeah. All right. Your car, if you don't mind. Yeah, we just want you to bang up.
While patrolling Washington Street near the northern end of the Highway 1 bypass in Forest City, a trooper received a notification that the St. Francis County Sheriff's Office was pursuing a red Dodge Ram traveling northbound. The trooper quickly moved to intercept and soon became the primary pursuing unit when the vehicle came into view. The driver, later identified as Andre T. Hunter, weaved through traffic, ignored traffic signals, and drove recklessly, showing a clear disregard for public safety. When the right moment presented itself, the trooper executed a tactical vehicle intervention, TVI, to bring the pursuit to an end. The maneuver caused the pickup truck to lose control, leave the roadway, roll over, and crash into a roadside ditch, leaving the vehicle completely disabled. Let's take another look at the PIT rollover from another trooper's camera angle.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
Officers quickly approached the scene and conducted a high-risk stop. When ordered to exit the vehicle, Hunter stepped out while still drinking a beer, clearly indicating alcohol consumption during the pursuit.
Walk up here! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
Hunter was taken into custody at the scene without further resistance. He was later transported to a medical center after complaining of shoulder pain and now faces multiple charges, including driving while intoxicated, driving with a suspended license, no insurance, possession of open alcohol in a vehicle, lane violations, and failure to obey traffic signals. The pursuit ended, but the legal consequences for the driver were only just beginning.
1421, are you on 1015?
10-4, 10-15, clear the net. Right. Good job, bro.
At approximately 10 p.m. on Friday, July 28, 2023, along eastbound Interstate 40 near mile marker 283, an officer had conducted a traffic stop and briefly spoken with the driver. However, the driver refused to comply and suddenly accelerated away, prompting the Marion Police Department to initiate a pursuit and request assistance from the Arkansas State Police.
Alright, I'm in the right lane, it's in the left lane. Is it Crown Vic?
While fleeing along the interstate, the vehicle reached speeds exceeding 120 miles per hour and was driven recklessly, putting other motorists in serious danger. To stop the threat, an Arkansas State Police trooper executed a tactical vehicle intervention (TVI) maneuver, causing the suspect vehicle to lose control and come to a stop on the roadway.
Alright, I just about wrecked out. I TVI'd 1016. Looks like it's trying to roll. Not the 283. We have,
However, from another angle of the pursuit, a second trooper approaching the scene did not realize the vehicle had already stopped following the PIT maneuver and collided heavily with the suspect's car, resulting in severe damage at the scene.
I just about wrecked out. I TVI'd 1015.
Let's take another look at the sudden, hard-to-control collision that just happened.
Wrecked out.
I think I ran that West Memphis unit.
The driver was later identified as DeMarcus Clark, a 32-year-old from West Memphis. Clark sustained critical injuries in the crash and later died from those injuries, bringing the dangerous high-speed pursuit to a tragic end.
I was coming over the hill. I don't know, sir. He was blacked out, but they split him in half, and that trooper's hurt, I think.
Okay.
On the afternoon of April 20th, 2022, Georgia State Patrol troopers spotted a blue-gray Dodge Charger matching a vehicle that had previously fled from police. When officers activated their emergency lights and entered a parking lot to investigate, the driver immediately accelerated away, spinning the tires as he fled and initiating a dangerous pursuit.
Come on, go, go.
Show us today.
During the escape, the suspect ran a stop sign and collided with another vehicle while turning onto Victory Drive, yet continued fleeing even though the tires were damaged. The Charger then ran a red light and drove into oncoming lanes, creating a serious hazard before the driver suddenly abandoned the car and fled on foot.
Hey! Stop! Let me see your hand! Take it!
Radio 1030, 1033, 1080, 1080.
Let me see your hand! Let me see your hand! Get down!
Not bad.
Officers quickly pursued the suspect on foot. While running, he threw away ammunition and a backpack in an apparent attempt to discard evidence. A trooper ultimately deployed a taser, causing the suspect to fall to the ground, where he was quickly subdued and taken into custody.
There's going to be a pretty call on 50 guys, airport Benning guys. That vehicle's going to be off in the wood line.
Let me just look at my car. Damn.
Nah.
Big guy.
A search of the vehicle and discarded items revealed a stolen Glock handgun and a large bag of marijuana.
Hey, open that bag up right there. Or is
The suspect, Marcus Walden, a convicted felon, was transported to the Muskogee County Jail and now faces multiple serious charges.
Calm down. Calm down. You gonna stay right there, man. I'm getting tired of it. I gotta pat you down and keep moving. All right.
Just chill out, man.
Bringing an end to a pursuit that escalated from a simple encounter into a dangerous criminal situation.
Gotta make sure you don't got no weapons on you. Now you can look at your car. Hold on. You don't need a license. You're still able to carry a pistol while intoxicated? That's where I'm at.
On January 4th, 2023, around 8:30 p.m., officers responded to reports of an intoxicated man with a gun near the 1400 block of Culebra Road in San Antonio. Witnesses directed police to a nearby motel where the suspect was believed to be hiding. An officer went to the second floor and knocked on the motel room door. When 44-year-old Jose Iruegas opened the door, he pointed a gun at the officer. In response, both officers fired, striking Iruegas multiple times.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Iruegas was transported to the hospital in critical condition and later charged with 2 counts of terroristic threats against a peace officer. The district attorney's office is reviewing the case, and no other injuries were reported. The pursuit turned intense as a black Dodge Charger sped recklessly through the streets of Arkansas in an attempt to escape. The suspect ran multiple red lights, aggressively weaved through tight gaps in traffic, and even collided with civilian vehicles without slowing down, showing a complete disregard for public safety. Officers maintained close pursuit, coordinating over the radio while tracking the Charger as it tore through busy intersections. Each burst of acceleration and sudden lane change heightened the tension, with every movement increasing the risk of a serious crash. The chase came to an end at the McCain intersection when the Charger lost control and slammed head-on into an SUV. The impact sent the vehicle onto the median, scattering debris across the roadway before it came to a stop in a chaotic scene.
Control 21, he just called us another wreck here at Landers and McCain. We're now going right on Landers.
We got to stop Landers and McCain.
As the vehicle stopped, officers moved in through the dust and debris, quickly removing the driver and taking him into custody. The suspect was identified as Jalen Jones. A search of the vehicle revealed a firearm and narcotics, adding to the severity of the charges.
Show me your fucking hands! Anybody else in there? There's a gun in the car. Anybody else? Cuff him, I got cover. You fucking move.
This incident once again highlights how reckless attempts to flee not only endanger innocent lives but also lead to serious legal consequences. Despite the attempt to escape, the suspect ultimately faced accountability for his actions.
We're gonna need a unit though at McKinnon.
The pursuit began when Waldenburg police spotted a suspicious vehicle traveling on State Highway 14. When officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop, the driver refused to comply and instead accelerated aggressively, quickly pulling away and heading toward Interstate 55. Patrol units stayed in pursuit, maintaining pressure from behind, and as the vehicle entered southbound I-55 near Payne Way, Arkansas State Police ASP units joined in, forming a coordinated high-speed pursuit on the interstate. It's here. Throughout the chase, the suspect maintained extreme speeds, showing no intention of slowing down, forcing other motorists to take evasive action. The vehicle moved through traffic like a moving hazard, escalating the danger with every mile. Officers recognized the growing risk and began preparing for a decisive intervention. At approximately 7:30 p.m., near mile marker 20 southbound, and with traffic conditions becoming more favorable, an ASP trooper made the call to execute a pit maneuver to bring the pursuit to an end. The patrol unit closed the distance, positioning slightly offset behind the suspect vehicle before delivering a precise pit to the rear quarter panel. The controlled impact immediately broke the vehicle's traction, sending it off its intended path and off the roadway. Carrying significant momentum at high speed, the vehicle slid down onto a service road and began to roll multiple times. During the violent rollover, the driver was ejected from the vehicle, dramatically escalating the severity of the situation.
TVI, pulling over.
The driver was later identified as 36-year-old Revale Murphy, who was transported for emergency medical treatment, but ultimately succumbed to his injuries. A female passenger sustained injuries but was reported to be in stable condition. Further investigation revealed Murphy was wanted out of Tennessee on multiple serious charges. The incident stands as a stark reminder that while the pit maneuver is an effective tool to end pursuits, its use at high speeds carries inherent and significant risks, where a single moment can lead to irreversible consequences.